we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
Stafford on first down. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. All right, let's get a peek at these starters here in the Golden Child, Golden Tate.
Love his versatility because you can use him anywhere in your offense. And he's an excellent kick returner. Loves to play the game, plays with passion.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And right away, he lost the football. But I believe the Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
This is Reddick on the screen. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bring up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start. Yeah,
I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
Hey, receiver.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Wide open receiver complete. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. Wow, first and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on fourth down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone's talking about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 74 yards.
And what we just saw there was exactly what they need against this defense. Big plays. They were able to pick up a first down on that one.
He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They start the drive with Cook, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Throwing, Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ezekiel Ansah. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's going to be incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Second and 10, Stafford again. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 at the 19. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Though he's seen some good pressure defensively already here in the first quarter, here's another good example.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And now out comes Minnesota. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Cousins on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. They take over 1st and 10 following the interception. So out now come the Lions. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for a Lions first.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Here's Riddick. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good to this point. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Glover Quinn there on the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Vikings on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to if the offense is confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. Flushed out right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's able to find Diggs. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot.
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will
No,
he?
he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you
looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. Oh, shifty.
Whoa.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, you know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 1st and 10, Stafford completing it here to Marvin Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards for number 11. On 1st down, Stafford here. Toward the center of the field, but it's in.
Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
After the encroachment penalty, here's 2nd and 5. To the air again, Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Wide.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Cousins. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call the timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, they do snap it to Cousins. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Stafford now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Here's Stafford out to the flat for Reddick, and he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be a 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion 1st down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Stafford on 1st down. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
Set, lady.
Throwing again is Stafford. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Again, it's Stafford. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal.
Set, lady.
Stafford looks to throw again. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
So we've reached halftime here in... And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to draw up something good here on 3rd and 13.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Throwing his Cousins. And able to find John Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Cousins now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this will be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. Now they go screen, it's complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Hey, Clipper, Clipper.
Again, it's Cousins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Again, it's Cook. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
11 more on that one, and another first down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He's going to get it running right. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A 4-yard pickup, not enough. Fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Cousins to throw for it on fourth. Flush to his right. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Lions have recovered. And they're going to come up empty here on fourth down. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile. Stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They go back to Reddick. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing on third down, Stafford. This is Reddick on the screen. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up fourth.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
To throw is Cousins. His throw incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, and that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 14. To throw, Cousins. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one, 41 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On first down, hurry. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
A'Shawn Robinson coming out of the University of Alabama. A big, physical, intimidating force who had to learn to play with more leverage. Otherwise, he was going to get blown off the ball in the NFL. Looks like he's learning his lessons after that play.
Here's Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4.
Wide.
Now Cousins on 4th down. It's complete to Diggs. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. 1st down. 1st down, here's the run with Cook. Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They run it again with Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 1st down at Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Caught right side, Tate. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. A shotgun snap for Stafford. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size can't really hide it. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
And he's got this one down to the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Theo Riddick, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Now the return, Rashad Green. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Glover Quinn. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he's able to take this way down into Detroit territory. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. The tackle made by Derek Rivers. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Play fake, Cousins. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Cousins in the offense is going to stay out there. They're going to try on 4th down.
Play action now. Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, Stafford. Finding some room at midfield. To the right and complete to Galladay. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
Start offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Throwing is Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this down to the 35. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains. First down now, but that clock rolling. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
That is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Stafford again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. To the air again, Stafford. Out to the flat for Reddick. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now. Throwing again at Stafford. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Stafford. And that one is caught. So they convert here, and don't look now, but this one's back to a one-score game. And hold the phone now. This game isn't over yet.
Not at all. Now, get the football back. That's the first thing. However you do it, get the ball back and then manipulate the clock with your offense because you've got to get the ball into the end zone.
And the Vikings hands team able to recover. And that should just about do it. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. That would have been a great catch, but real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Well, the D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into him?
Golden Tate's gonna go! Touchdown, Detroit! Golden Tate with time running out, and the Lions are a 2-point conversion away from tying this game.
The touchdown's massive, but now they've got to have 2 to possibly take this to overtime.
They'll try and run it in. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Everything was riding on that 2-point conversion, and they got it.
They got it. They now have the momentum. Time really dwindling in this game. Now their big deal is make sure they get a good kickoff and don't give up anything big on the defensive end.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Elsewhere in the NFL, they're in the 4th down in New Orleans. The gap's getting wider there. The Saints have scored again. If they indeed win, it would be win number 9 on the season. And this is going to be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the Lions are going to win this game. A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it.